Well, I've had a million questions on what happens if I go too far. Well, this is what happens. Welcome to a new episode of Bending with Bending. My name is Devin Bending. Yeah, I named the show after me. Of course, you know, it is what it is. So here on Bending with Bending, we bend frames. I'm a career frame technician. I used to be a few other things. Iron worker. Well, a jack of all trades, basically. Master of none. But I was a master of a couple. But today we're going to talk about geometry, different frame conditions, and also different setups depending on the condition and why we set it up where it is in order to do what we do. But this is about as real as we're going to get. Because why? It's a reality TV show, I'm guessing. But it's real, so there's going to be a few faux pas, I'm sure. And as long as my wife and none of my exes see this, I should be all right. I'll probably be married forever. 2009 Sterling with a Detroit 60. And I almost can't forget my wife's favorite toy, Bob. Yeah, okay, maybe not my wife's favorite toy. But anyway, I like to annoy her with it anyway. But anyway, you can pick one of these up on my merch store. BendingWithBendy at Etsy.com. Shirts, hats, all that good stuff. Yeah, pre-taped, signed, whatever, you know. Check it out. So let's look at this. First, how do we read the gauges? Where do we set the gauges? Well, first of all, we're going to set one gauge right in front of the rear tandems and one gauge right behind the rear tandems. One gauge right here behind the front spring hanger, as you can see there. And one gauge right here on the inside of the frame in front of the spring hanger, or the spring hangers themselves, depending on what you want to do. Like Peterbilt's, the frame is kind of set back and has this giant strap-on piece on the front of it, you know what I mean, that they use to hold everything else on. I know quite a few Peterbilts that's got some strap-on stuff on it. Knew a girl like that once. That was fun. For a short time, anyway. Alright, so when looking at our gauges, you can see that our front gauge, what you want to do is you want to set all four gauges and you want to line your front gauge up with your rear gauge, and you notice that the other two are not in line. You can see there. So we know it's out up there, and we know it's out back here. And the main question is, where do we set the equipment at? Well, there's a few things we have to know. One, there's a cross member. We have to be on a cross member. We can't be between a cross member because it'll buckle the frame out right here. So we have to be on a cross member that pushes all the way through. Two, this is a double frame, as you can tell there. Now we have to figure out where the sleeve runs out at. Because if the sleeve isn't long enough, much like myself, for most of my life, it's going to cause the frame on the other end of the sleeve to move faster than the rest of it. So we do know that the front of the frame has to be stationary. And we do know that the sleeve stops right there behind the spring hanger. And it runs the full length of the truck. All right, so let me explain this to you. Right here, if you look, if we draw a line here, in here, as you can see here, and we can notice that the side sway is here, but our actual bend is just in front of here. And the spring hanger just a little bit back. But we also know that there's kind of a bow in the entire truck. Looks like right here. This line shows. I'm not a very good artist, so we're just going to deal with this. Depending on where you set this up, you need as much leverage as possible, either between here or here. If you move this too far forward, you change the angle in which you are bending. Instead of bending here, you could bend further back. We don't want to do that. So we need as much leverage as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from one end with our dead leg here, and to the other end with our dead leg here. Now we got to figure out where to push at in the middle. When looking at this truck, we know that the sleeve on the internal sleeve here stops right here behind the spring hanger. From here forward is single, from here back is double. So what we want to do is if we bend too close to this, the single frame will bend and the double will not. So we start moving back. Now there's a cross member here, but we don't want to make a big banana of this. So we need to make sure that we have enough strength and leverage to move this into here without just bending the front, but the front still needs to move. We'll go to the next cross member back, which of course is right here. Now this is a 6-axle truck, so the alignment on this is going to be fun. This thing's got more rubber on it than that girl that invited you out to the field house in high school. Was that silicone? I don't know. Depends on which high school you went to. All right, so we got our old school pump right there. Bam. We're going to push on this button and watch the gauges move here. So we're going to see exactly how the gauges are moving. So at some point, all these gauges should line up fairly easy. I should say easy, fairly straight. Main things you want to do, you want to kind of get everything lined up. We're just a little bit past in the box. So we know that we're moving the most up in the front there. So that's where we're going to stay at. That's how we know we're kind of close to where we're at. Now we need to go way on past. A lot of people don't realize how flexible these frames really are, okay? Now, yes, they are tempered frames, And no, this is not illegal to straighten frame, okay? And no, it is not more advantageous to actually replace the frame, because the cost of frame rails and things like that and actual swapping them out and everything, astronomical compared to straightening. These frames are extremely flexible, about as flexible as I was back when I was 17, which, you know, I'm over 40 now, so yeah, not quite that flexible anymore. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take it twice the distance past. We're about twice the distance past now. We'll go a little bit further. Go ahead and zoom in here from the back like most of you guys like it. You know what I mean? You guys can take that however you want. Now, I know it only seems like we're going just a little bit, but a little bit is a lot. Now, we've moved over about 2 inches. If you don't believe that 2 inches is a lot, ask my old lady. It seems like it's a lot more. It's only about that far, but it might seem like it's a lot more because it's cold outside. Another thing you have to pay attention to is this cylinder right here. You don't want this cylinder to get too far out, because if you're not paying attention, it will push itself out until it blows itself out. You know, I mean, blows itself out like my ex-girlfriend. So we're gonna come over here and make a line like this on here so we know how far it goes. And I don't mean those lines you were messing around with in high school, okay? Come over here and let off. Let's see what we got. Now, if you look at it, we're almost straight up. I know it's kind of hazy here. Maybe I can get a better view of it here. It's almost straight up. Okay, we are pretty much straight up. That's not where we want to be. We are actually bending the frame, okay? Or correcting the frame. So we need to go little bits at a time. Once we get straight, now we know how far we've gone, our mark, right? Now we'll go an inch further and let off, because we actually need to be riding past. Maybe riding past about a full pin pass. And then when we take this down, we're actually going to drive around, take it over some railroad tracks, things like that, to make sure that because it's going to go back a little bit, right? It will flex back, so that's why you always go past, so that way it's dead on when you're done. Alright, so put that white line right there next to the other white line. You guys know how to do that, I'm sure. And then we let off. There we go. So right now we're actually one full pin pass, but we have to make sure that we actually loosen up the frame front and rear to make sure that, well, you know, it's loose. To answer a few questions in the comments. No, I don't actually loosen up the cap. No, I don't open the doors. I do open the hood. You have to open the hood, otherwise this thing becomes a whistling diesel video. Because the hood is mounted on the front, and if you're moving the frame, the cab and everything is going to move differently, right? Obviously, I've cracked a few in my career, and it's cost me money, so I always open the hood from now on. You don't have to take the motor out, you don't have to take the motor mounts out, unless you're twisting. When you're twisting, you have to pull the motor mount bolts out of one side, or the other, depending on which one you want to do. Which one's easier? That's the question. We're about about a half a pin pass, so we want to be a full pin pass. But I think we should go just a little bit more. Now this is fully adjustable, as you can see here, but it's only adjustable on a long distance. So we're not quite there, so we just got to keep shimming it out. You can tell we went just a little bit more. As you can tell after letting off, approximately a full pin pass. Why is it important to go one pin pass? Well, we go one pin pass, we do have quite a bit of deflection in the frame, so the frame will actually deflect back a little bit. So because of how flexible the frames are. So let's just tear everything down and take it outside, drive it around, and put it back on it. Check it again. All right, well, let's look at our gauges here. She didn't move back as far as we wanted to, so we're probably gonna have to push her back just a little bit. Well, I've had a million questions on what happens if I go too far. Well, this is what happens. All right, so seeing as we moved over too far, right, we pushed it just a little bit too far, which that's normally where I push it, but for some reason it didn't creep back like it was supposed to. So maybe it's a little more sturdier than I thought. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually just push it back just a little bit. All right, so this is one of those times that you push it and it actually stays. Very uncommon, but I do believe that it's probably because it's a double frame and there's a single frame extension on the end of there. So we went ahead and pushed her over. So we're gonna try and drive her around and see if she stays right there. We're just a little bit out right there, yeah. So hopefully it stays right there. So let's tear it all down and go. All right, so after we moved her around a little bit, here we go. You can see that we are dead on perfect right there. So if you watch this far in the video, we're at the end. As you can tell, we did a lot of work. There's gonna be a video pop up here somewhere. You guys should check it out because YouTube knows the algorithm and they want you to see it. So check it out. But until next time, keep twisting or straightening, whatever you think you should be doing. But check out the next video.